All right, welcome everyone. Dan here from tradingology.com and the trading room for February 25th, 2021. So this will be our last one for February, not for 2021. So we'll be starting out a new month coming soon, almost to the end of March here, or excuse me, almost to the end of February, be starting March. So we will have a new information for the trading rooms next Tuesday. And as we always see, we'll look at a couple of news breaks, and then we do have, I believe, Dave is joining us from our Strong Market team as usual. So good morning, Dave. Good to see you.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you.
We're always watching for that Thursday report, right? So let's take a look and see where it came out.
Yeah. It's 7:30, I think.
Trading claims. Oh, see, it didn't refresh, so you already know, but I'll click refresh and we'll see it come across here. Boom. So they had 828 on the forecast. I don't know if they forecasted high on purpose. Who knows? But yeah, 730, just like Dave just mentioned. So we're
better
lower
than expected.
Yeah, better than expected. So it's got to go up, right?
It's just unbelievable that 750,000 people have filed for new claims. And yeah, it's better.
So what do we see across? Well, we are still red. And in case you missed it a few weeks ago, we have the sequel, GameStop 2.0. I'll move this one. Let me see. I got the wrong. Here we go. So I'll zoom in here. Obviously, we're not at 500 almost like it did last time, but I saw a tweet. Conan O'Brien said he was getting into GameStop on the 23rd.
Got close to 200. Didn't quite make it up there, but yeah, crazy. The last hour of trading yesterday, last hour and a half, it doubled in price.
Yeah, I think I saw something. Conan says, "All right, guys, I'm gonna try this one. Wish me luck." And then the next day does this, and someone's like, "Look, Conan's a genius."
Unbelievable. Yeah, I don't think that's anything I want to touch. Just saying.
Yeah, I just figured in case you missed the first movie, the second one's playing right now.
Yeah, same thing with AMC and Koss and all of the old favorites are playing.
That's crazy. I heard about it, but I hadn't looked at the charts yet. So let's look real quick.
Yeah.
We'll
Good
zoom
morning,
in on it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. In fact, the entire market is a little nuts here. I mean, we got the GameStop thing going back on. Is it retail traders coming back in again? I don't think so. I think it's more of a momentum play at this point. They see that rounded bottom on GMC or in AMC. So I don't know, maybe. And now we've got this market that was up, was almost 500 points yesterday, and we're trending lower here.
Well, market timer spreadsheet was calling for a potential bull trap, so that was always a potential in play here that we couldn't get a drop. We didn't get a big rise at the morning, but
that's right. And the price anomaly is 184. So, we could see the market down about 200 points today.
Yeah, that was the one we were watching. It's been interesting to see because we saw all this high AVS a little while ago, but we still had rising prices. And then we had some drop here. We were again back above consistent AVS over 1500 again. Warning signs going off. So yeah, that PA was definitely calling it where we could have another down day today for sure. And where are we sitting right now?
Yeah,
150
price anomaly.
And tech's been selling off big too. But yeah, this run, I mean, this was like, I think I mentioned to Dave somewhere. I said, next time Powell starts speaking, we're just going to have to buy and sit on it. Because it was literally when he opened that press conference at like 10 Eastern, 9 Central, both days was when the rally began and just didn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, his influence is still being felt, that's for sure. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it looks like we see bullish herding is fading on both and bearish herding is building on the NDX. And we have negative supply, demand, and strength. And it looks like strength just went negative on everything. So we just crossed the lines here. So keep an eye on those.
Yeah, this is so, what I really don't, this is market confusion because we had the update yesterday. We got the reverse today. pullback, whatever you want to call it. But the feeling I've gotten over the last couple of weeks is that the pullbacks have been much stronger in intensity than the up moves. Yesterday's up move was pretty good, but still, the internals really didn't confirm that yesterday. Market's confused. I think traders are confused. They don't really know what to do at this point. If we do get a downdraft in the market and we start to see 1,000-point days, we could see a lot of panic.
And looking at just the NDX itself here, I did take notice that we're underneath and now trading below these longer term moving averages that I just kind of said. I don't trade anything by them. I just kind of watch them just to have a view of them. So we see we're down, and that actually was acted as resistance this morning on the NDX itself, whereas on the New York Stock Exchange indexes, we're still above them. And it's just touching it right now, actually, on the SPX. So one thing to take note as we, is the NDX a leader here? What's the RUT doing? The RUT's down 1% as well.
Yeah, and it was up early this morning, pretty good.
BD says, what's your take on the Fedware going down yesterday? Yeah, all the Fed services, if you guys didn't see. I heard it was, I think it sounds like they're trying to blame it on like human error or operational error or something. I haven't seen underlying what caused it yet. Did you get any more info on that, Dave?
I saw the Bloomberg article about it. They just said it was an error. That's all they've given out. I doubt if they're ever really going to reveal exactly what it was, whether it was a hack or some security issue or something like that. They're just saying it was an error in the system and it was unidentified.
So either someone got fired.
Yeah.
I joked that someone tripped on the cord. They had to short circuit a meltdown. Maybe it was GameStop. That halted trading so a couple times, so they shut down the Fed.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, geez, it's transferring those GameStop profits around probably short circuited them.
Well, interesting too. I did see a few articles around new proposals for 1-day settlements instead of the 3 days that it typically takes to clear. So I wonder if that's maybe they're fiddling with things. Who knows? That's just complete conjecture on my point. So it is one thing that I have seen recently was trying to fix what happened or not have happen again.
Right.
When they were freezing up. So that could be interesting if it was part of that. But like you say, yeah, they're not going to openly admit to it. We won't know unless you're on the inside.
Yeah, this market does not look good though. What are the internals doing there on the Excel?
They are dropping like a rock.
Yeah.
We're over negative 1,000 now.
Wow.
And our spaghetti noodles are definitely pointing to negative extremes. Volume is also moving down. So everything is to the negative side. And VIX, we see, I threw just a couple trend lines on the VIX just because we were seeing it was making higher lows and higher highs.
Mm-hmm.
So I threw a couple. I threw one on the wicks and I threw one on the bodies just because I like to look at both. And yesterday did break it, but today we're bouncing right back up at it. So that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. We'll see if it gets back above this other trend line or if it plays through it. But yeah, we're back up near 24 right now on the VIX.
Interesting. It's a ping pong ball, just bouncing up and down there. I'm wondering if it's forming a base, and that's part of the base forming that it's doing. Interesting.
The other part that I want to bring up, if I find my screen here that I was sharing with you right before the call, is the bond market.
Yeah.
Where did that screen go? I'll find you. So we see the 1 year, or the 3 year was when that was really jumping. Let me just open up a new one here, since apparently my first one has eluded me.
AD, we did not get into the VXX trade, although we did put an order in, but we wanted an $8 credit. That credit didn't get filled.
Look at the chart on that 3-year bond. That just went from under 0.25% to over 0.3, and it's rising right now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So there's two reasons why interest rates would rise. Well, actually three. One would be inflation, which everybody is pointing to. They're saying, hey, this is inflationary. So we've got interest rates rising, that's inflationary. The second reason is that the economy is getting better, and so it can afford higher interest rates. It's not going to hurt the economy. It's not, it's a sign of a healthy economy when interest rates rise. The third thing is that when interest rates rise this quickly, it means that there's a problem in the financial system if the economy has not recovered. And obviously with 730,000 people unemployed again for first-time claims, it doesn't look like the economy is getting better. So interest rates are rising, and that's not a good thing with a poor economy. That's the worst case scenario for this. And boy, they are moving.
Yeah, you just look at it in comparison to recent, the normal daily candles where we had a jump back in the new year, and then it kind of came back down. Now we've just been on a trajectory north, and these are big candles in comparison to the rest of it, especially the 3-year. And the 30 years now over 2.25%, 2.3 right now in the 30-year.
Yeah, and the precious metals are, I think silver might be up a little bit here. Nope, it was up this morning. Now it's down. Gold is down as well. Yeah, there's not a lot up here. No, even some of the commodities are down except for coffee. Everybody needs coffee.
I can't live without coffee, right?
Joe's up.
And Joe was down a little bit yesterday. That was the only one, but everybody else was still up.
Yeah. But look at those. I mean, those rates are just pretty incredible. You and I chatted yesterday about how the Fed must be sweating a bullet, because when these rates rise and they got bonds, they're holding tons and tons of bonds. They're just dropping like a rock. They're losing a lot of value at this point as rates rise. What are they going to do?
Well, yeah, if they start to raise these, then it's even harder to pay back all the stuff that they're holding. And I thought it was very interesting, as well as when Powell was making his first speech on Tuesday, I believe it was. Yeah, 2 days ago, where the 1 year here dropped almost zero. I think we mentioned it on a different video.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was on a trajectory to negative bounds, which we don't support yet in the US.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep your eye on that too, because what happens because that's what their tool is, right? They always say they have their tools. Well, to combat this, they raise this.
Well, see, for a very long time, their only tool was to reduce the short-term rates, was to control those short-term rates. They weren't really in the market to control long-term rates. They only recently been doing that. With rates this high, they're gonna have to go from, what is it, 85 billion a month in long-term treasuries that they're buying. I mean, obviously it's not working. They're gonna have to double it in order to keep interest rates low, which is what they promised they would do, keep rates low until we get out of this pandemic.
Yeah, they already said for years, right? It was like 2023 or 24.
I think it was 24 they were talking about. I mean, that's just insane.
So there'll be some speech, and based on new market conditions, we have to modify this, or there'll be whatever reason. So now it's making headlines. Retreats from a record high. Yeah, we were flying at 32,000 feet yesterday. A new record.
Yeah, we hit 32,000 on the Dow. S&P didn't quite make it. Nothing else really made it. The Russell was still below its all-time high. And the Qs, I mean, the NASDAQ is just getting murdered. I mean, it's been down like 200 points almost every single day.
How about you guys? You got any other questions cooking there for our final February trading room? We got about 5-10 minutes left at the most. Any burning questions?
Just in case you guys didn't notice, we do have to postpone the Wealth Masterclass this afternoon. It'll be Tuesday at 1 p.m. So just unforeseen circumstances is going to take me out of my office. So I apologize for that, but we will be here Tuesday at 1 p.m.
The new updated Zoom info is in the members area, and I have shout out emails to the wealth members. So if you don't see it, add support@tradingology.com to your contact list, or just in general, because we know email systems are good at putting stuff in spam and junk folders. So if you add them to the contacts, make sure you're getting those notifications. But they have went out. If you don't see them, email me at support@tradingology.com and we'll make sure you get hooked up. But yeah, Tuesday at 1 is now the new wealth timing. And I'll get this video posted as soon as possible to let members know.
Well, we're still dropping here. This is kind of, is this a little bit of reminiscence of last February? Almost the exact same time, isn't it?
Yeah, I've starting to do some comparisons between that, and it's kind of eerie how very almost identical it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, BD's saying, what's your take on the alt season? Is it a repeat of 2018? And just looking at crypto too here, I'll pull up that chart. I think they're recovering some this morning.
We're up a little bit this morning here, but boy, it's been volatile. We've really been up and down on cryptocurrencies. Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Looks like all the wheels are turning. We'll get it dialed in here. So yeah, slightly coming back. Bitcoin's just above 50K again. VET took a big drop down below a nickel.
But they look like
took that drop too.
Yeah, they don't look like real healthy bounces right here. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Oops.
Ringing the register.
Yeah, they don't look like real healthy bounces here. We got that big red candle, and then we got two little green ones. So that's not super healthy.
All right, yeah. And we'll pull up ADA since that was one of interest the other day. ADA is a little bit happier than the rest. BD wants to know if you're going to play back into VET.
I'm looking at VET. Not really sure when I would pull the trigger on that. Kind of tough to say. Here's what happens. You see those really big bars there? You got the big green bar and you got the big red bar. My target this year for VET, as I mentioned, was 5 cents. We hit that already. So now I'm not really sure. Those really large bars, just like I outlined in the winning trade system, indicate extreme volatility. And we don't have a volatility index like we have the VIX in the stock market. We don't have a volatility index for crypto, but you can do your own volatility analysis based on the size of those bars. What percentage are those bars compared to the previous 100 bars? So you could look at something like ATR maybe, or something like that to get that indication. But to me, that shows a lot of volatility. When volatility comes in, prices decline. I wouldn't be surprised to see VET back to a penny sometime this year. Now that we've hit my long-term target, my 2021 target, I wouldn't be surprised to see it back at a penny. So VET won't be affected. Oh, it absolutely will be affected. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's in the basket with the rest of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be immune. It just had a nicer run up than most of them, and it hit my target. So at this point, it's really kind of open season on crypto. You see that one long bar on Ethereum there. Typically, when you see a real long bar like that, it tends to climb back down to the bottom of that. So if Ethereum goes down, if Bitcoin goes down, if it's going to drag everything else with it.
Yeah, is that a precursor? Like you say, it doesn't have to go immediately down. There's obviously the highest volatility day recently was that day.
Yeah. So we could see, it could just creep down. It just keeps creeping down every single week. There's nothing in the cryptocurrency space that interests me at all right now. I see a lot of volatility and I just see a lot of churning back and forth.
And the new recently released Ethereum futures contracts. So how many people are shorting it, or how many did? Or did everybody buy and they lost out? I'd be curious to see that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, just like Bitcoin futures when they came out in January 2018, it really destroyed the market. So is the Ethereum contracts, are they doing the same thing here?
See if I can dial in. It's not on there. Let me grab it. Just to look at volume, because I'm curious. Just throw basic volume on there. That's moving up. But how much is it? Come here. 1,200.
Wow.
Still less than, also only been one day that there was over 1,000 contracts traded on Ethereum futures. It started out at 300 a day, 200, 333, and then just one day, just yesterday was the first day it traded over 1,000 contracts.
Yeah, but look what's happening. Look what's happening to it as the volume increases. It looks like that big volume day, the 1,000 contracts, didn't push the price up very high.
No, and was it short covering?
Yeah, it looks like they're shorting the market. Yeah, was it short covering? Exactly.
Maybe this was a bunch of selling of shorts, then this was cashing in. That's possible.
That is possible. Yeah.
That me winning or you winning?
I'm getting a little buys in and a few sells in. So I was short a little bit. I covered. I'm getting a couple longs in there.
I have to ask now because whenever there's a chime, I don't know if it's my computer or Dave's.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, even though the U.S. dollar is down a little bit today, the 30s on the long end of the curve there on our calls are pretty active. Actually, there's a good number of people who are trying to bid it at 9 cents.
They should bid it all the way up.
Yeah, the last time I looked at it, take a quick look here. We've got 222 contracts willing to buy at 9 cents. We got about 500 contracts between 7 and 9. Maybe it's you guys. I don't know. Maybe it's all Dan.
It might be all me. Who knows?
But yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the market. It's kind of really strange. You want to bring up the VIX just before we end here. Let's bring up the VIX one more time because it looks like it bottomed out here. It did break that trend line, but boy, it's starting to move back up again. I don't know what the deal is. I really don't. It's just a very, very odd kind of movement here. And if you go on, let's see, I've got mine, I think, on an hourly chart.
We can navigate that.
Yeah, so we had that trend line there, and it did break through a little bit, just dipped below it, but now we're starting to move back up again. I don't know what this means, but we are making, the thing I noted on it was that we're making higher highs and higher lows from that low where you started that trend line. I don't know when that was, sometime a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
That was on the 12th. So about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So we've had higher lows and we've had higher highs.
So now the question will be, are we going to break this high? And we're going to go back up north close to 30?
Yeah. It just seems very odd that the downward moves have been very, very impulsive, which typically indicates the direction of the trend.
Oh, and I shared this too. Let me see if I can find that other chart. If not, I probably get a picture of it. Let me just grab the picture of it, just so everybody is aware. And now I won't be able to find it just because that's Murphy's Law right now. I sent it to you too, didn't I? I did.
Yes.
So I remember we were taking comparisons last year and looking for warning signs of potential trouble in the market. We have these long-term ones on the SPY VIX, also looking at the SPY. So I'll zoom this in a little bit, try to fit it in the whole screen here. This is a weekly chart, taking a look at the long-term markets, and we have on here a SPY minus VIX indicator, a VXX trade system indicator, and then below is the SPY chart just itself that is mirrored with the SPY VIX, and we have the Darvis box on that. So we see this is the massive March drop last year. This is the 2018 drops where we had a couple of them. Each time that dropped, we had the SPY VIX was above this 25, which is a line we have. It's in kind of an upper bound, and the lower one is at 10. And then the upper and lower bounds in the VXX trade system are at 10 and 25 as well. So we see the lines in there. So anytime these are both above the lines, we've seen pretty decent drops in the market. And especially in the SPY VIX was hitting quite a few times. As soon as both hit, we had the major drop here. So it was an early warning predictor even before, pandemic news was being talked about in November, December, early January. We already saw it coming according to these indicators. So to be on alert. And right now we have the VXX trade system is above the upper bound, and the SPY VIX one is just a little above halfway. So if this comes up and touches, that could be our downturn moment, which lines up to about mid end of March. So keep an eye on that. If you need these, let us know. But I think you guys all have these indicators. So it's, it's nothing for sure, but it's proven pretty darn good in the past.
Absolutely.
Trying to put, like they say, history leaves clues. The market doesn't always exactly repeat, but it sure rhymes. I'll steal everybody's lines there.
Yeah, I think this is just really unprecedented with all the unemployment going on, higher interest rates, and now, market's trying to figure out, how to take it all in, whether it goes higher or lower. I have no idea, but, it's weird. I think it's one of the weirdest markets I've seen in a really long time. Maybe the .com bubble from last year or from 2000 is similar to what happened last year. Kind of reminds me of that. But we didn't have this big downturn in the .com bubble until we hit the top. So now, how often and how frequent, it seems like there's more frequent big drops in the market than there used to be, because from 82 really to 2000, we had one big drop, and that was 1987. That was a really long time period. Now, from 2000 to today, we had 2000, we had 2000, 2008, and then we had March of 2021. So it seems like the number of occurrences in which large drops are happening are much more frequent, instead of once every 20 years or once every 10 years or once every 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know. It's going to be weird. Very strange time.
Yeah, so if we see warning signs, that's why I just want to share with as many people as possible. So just keep your eyes out, not claiming doomsday or anything, but it's just good to be aware.
Absolutely. All right, guys, have a great day and have a fantastic weekend. And we'll see you all again on Tuesday morning. And as mentioned, Wealth Masterclass, 1 p.m. on Tuesday.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good weekend. You're welcome, BD. Good to see you. Take care, everyone.